It's gonna shoot off. I'm hoping it did. What does that remind you of?
You're watching Black Eric Nice on YouTube.
Boy, he's hard as a rock.
What up?
Hi guys, Black is here, and I want to give you an honest review of the, is it TRQ, whatever it is, shocks. I can't remember the name of it right now. But anyway, I put the shocks on the rear of my Golf, right? And it is amazing, okay? Before, I used to ride down the expressway, 65, 75, 80 miles per hour, and the damn car would just do this right here. Just felt like that. And I thought it was the bad struts, the cheap struts, because I put the same kind of struts in the front, TRQ or whatever they call it. And I thought it was one of the struts was bad. No, it was the rear shocks. One of the rear shocks, both shocks were bad, but the right rear shock was oozing. I mean, it was really, really bad. And I don't remember it being that bad when I changed the brake pads, but I mean, it's got grease built all up on the outside of it. The left strut, it just looked like it's worn out, but the right one is busted. And that's the reason why the car was doing this right here. Also, when you pull off from a red light, first gear, it used to do a lot of squatting in the back. I didn't think much about it. I figured it was a 5-speed, that's why most 5-speed, they squat, especially front wheel drive cars, right? It don't squat very much. I mean, it should squat a lot. Now it just pull off. Like it has anti-squat geometry or whatever. But it rides a lot stiffer than before. Not hard, but a lot stiffer. But the car is a whole lot more stable on the highway or road. And I love when you shift the gears, it don't do all that squatting that it used to before. Guys, I'm gonna tell you something. People say, why don't you just buy a new car? If you have the money, buy a new car. But sometimes there's older cars, especially when you're a car nut like me, there are a lot of old cars I would love to drive, but I've never got a chance to drive them. And, when they first came out, they were too expensive for me to buy them. Like the Cadillac North Star. I always wanted to drive one. I never really wanted to own one, but I always wanted to drive one. My niece had one, she's 99, but I couldn't, it was her car. And I was afraid I was gonna tear the transmission up in it, so I didn't get down that hard on it. But after buying the car, buying one of my own, I got down on that sucker. And there's just a bunch of cars. Like I was watching TFL today, and what's the little skinny nerdy boy? What is his name? Tommy. He was interviewing a guy who had I think it was a 2004 Passat with the W8 engine in it. Now, I never really wanted to drive this car. I remember reading about the car, but I could have sworn it was a 3.6. But they say it's a 4.0. I mean, I think I looked it up. It said 4.0. Yeah, it did say 4.0. But this was a car. I mean, I never really thought much about it. I mean, I figured it would be fast, but I would have preferred. I'd rather drive 1.8 turbo. Put it that way. But that one car, I mean, I wouldn't mind owning. I wouldn't mind buying or whatever. But there's a lot of cars out here I always wanted to drive, But, we get back to it. the point I'm saying is this: if you buy an old car like that, and the person didn't take care of it, like my Golf, I mean, like I said, 9 people. I did a VIN search, and it said 9 people owned that car before me, and I guess they just drove it, never did nothing but put gas in it. Because I mean, everything is worn out on that car. I mean, I had to put brakes front and back, rollers front and back. I put wheel bearings in the front. I haven't put them in the back yet. I got to put ball joints. I mean, everything almost on that car is worn out. You know, I'm not saying it's somebody like Scotty Kilmer or any other person who believe every damn thing Scotty would say it's a money pit. It actually is not. It's just when you buy any car, you have to replace parts that wear out. But if you don't, the car is just gonna run raggedy, you know. And the people who owned it before me, they just never replace anything. Even if you bought some people might say, if I had bought a 2004 Camry, even though it has 185,000 miles, it would run better. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But I'm gonna tell you something the Camry won't do. A Camry won't get on the expressway and run. I mean, it'll run 100 miles per hour, but it probably won't feel as vault-like as that Golf. And actually, the Camry is not in the same league with the Golf. I guess the Corolla is in the league with the Golf. And I guarantee if you go get a 2004 Corolla, it might be faster, but I doubt it will ride like that Golf. That Golf has got a little bit of weight to it. But getting back to it, if you buy old cars, you're gonna have to put some money in to get it to run like it did when new. You know. Again, is it gonna ever be worth the money I put in it? Yeah, if I keep it for a while, become a classic. Because there are people who like those cars. You know, I remember one day I was somewhere and the guy gave me a thumbs up. You know, said it was nice Golf. You know. But that's what it is. It amazed me how much the rear shock, and I knew rear shocks would make the car ride better, but I didn't think it had so much control over the car. You know, it's a front wheel drive car. A lot of the weight is up front, so I didn't really think much about the back, but it makes a difference. I mean, it rides really good. You know, it stopped. It didn't really dive much when it stopped, but the main thing I noticed when you pull off, it did a lot of squatting, but it don't do that no more. And I really didn't think, let me change it. The left shock, I noticed that it didn't rebound when you push it in, so I knew the gas was worn out. But the right one was real bad. I mean, you could see how loose it was. And it made a big difference. Like I said, the car used to ride down the road and it just felt like one of the shocks was bad. But I thought it was one of the struts in the front. Now it rides a whole lot smoother. You know. How much did I pay for the rear shocks? I don't know. I have to look it up. It wasn't a whole lot. Would I recommend buying the T, whatever the hell, I can't remember the name of them damn struts. Would I recommend buying them? I guess if you're not really into performance, you just want to replace the strut with some good struts, yeah, I damn sure won't buy them Detroit axles. At least on a Cadillac I won't. But anyway, I just want to give y'all a little review. How impressed I am with the ride now. It's a lot. Oh, I'm gonna tell you something else. There's a curve, on the east side of Atlanta, on I-20 eastbound, you catch 285 south. There's a very sharp curve. It's not really a sharp curve, but it's a sharp curve. But it's a lazy. Well, actually, it's not lazy. It's a sharp curve, especially if you hit it running 70. I've been trying to get up the nerve to hit it running 70. It's like once you get in the curve, the car can handle it. But when you first turn in, it looks like you're going too fast. And it scares the hell out you. But the Golf, I hit it tonight. And I hit it doing about 70. because I had to slow down because it was somebody in front of me. They didn't turn right, but they hit the damn brakes before they got to the curve, caused me to slow down. But I hit it doing 70. And normally when I hit it running that fast, that damn golfer lean and it just feel like it want to lose control. But tonight it was a whole lot more stable. You know, those shocks really made a difference. But anyway, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them. Black, y'all have a good day. Bye.